All right, buckle up, everybody, because today
Oh, yeah.
we are diving into a legal battle
I know, right?
that is just messy.
It's so messy.
And it has huge implications for music.
Huge.
Free speech.
Oh, absolutely.
What is art, really?
Yes.
So we're talking about Drake and Kendrick Lamar, right?
Yes, right.
Drake is suing Universal Music Group.
UMG.
Yeah, MG for defamation over lyrics in Kendrick's song.
Not like us.
Not like us, yeah.
Yeah, heavy stuff.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It is.
It's interesting to me because Drake is not going after Kendrick
That's the thing.
directly.
Right.
He's going after the label.
Yeah, it's a really interesting
But a strategic move.
movement.
When I first saw this, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
wait, hold on.
I know.
Why is he suing the label
Why not Kendrick?
and not the artist?
Yeah.
So let's break it down.
Okay.
Drake is claiming that UMG, they knew that these allegations in the song, they were false, but they promoted it anyway.
He did, allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to make things even more complicated here,
Okay.
Drake's lawsuit emphasizes the real-world violence that he faced after the song was released,
That's a good point.
which I think is a very smart legal tactic
Yeah, very smart.
to try to gain sympathy
Definitely.
and to highlight how dangerous those lyrics are.
It's like saying, hey, look,
Yeah.
these words have real-world
Real-world,
consequences. This isn't just, you know,
back and forth.
a war of words on a track.
Right, exactly.
This is my life that you're putting at risk.
Exactly.
But, okay,
Yeah.
how do you prove defamation?
That's the question.
Especially when it comes to rap,
Ooh. Especially with rap.
where diss tracks are literally part of the culture.
It's part of the game. You know what I mean?
It's part of the game.
That's how it's always been.
So that's the big question.
Okay.
$1,000,000 question.
Yeah.
$1,000,000 question.
How do you prove
How do you do it?
defamation?
It's not easy.
Especially in this tough one.
In this context.
Really tough.
It feels like.
Well, to win, Drake has to convince the court that UMG acted recklessly, you know,
Oh, okay.
by promoting this statement that they knew was false.
Okay.
And that this directly caused him harm.
Got it.
It's going to be tough.
So it's almost like trying to untangle a really messy knot,
It is.
you know, to try to pull these things apart.
You got to separate the art
Yeah.
from the defamation.
Yeah, exactly.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Defamation is basically like when someone says something false about you that harms your reputation, like spreading a damaging rumor.
Right.
That's not true.
Yeah.
But in the context of music, especially rap,
Yeah.
you know, there's this expectation of
Thanks.
creative license,
Likes
exaggeration.
telling a story.
Yeah, you know, so where do you draw the line? That's a really good point.
Where's the line?
Yeah, and you can't forget about the history.
Oh, the history of rap battles.
Decades of this.
Yeah,
That's
decades.
perfect.
It's been around forever.
Forever.
It's a core part of the genre.
Totally.
know?
And that's one reason why
Yeah.
suing UMG might be a more strategic play.
Okay, explain that.
So you're taking
Yeah.
on a massive corporation, right? Deep pockets.
Yeah.
UMG
100%.
sends a powerful message
To the whole industry.
to the whole industry.
Yeah.
Plus, let's be honest,
Okay.
corporations don't have the same
Right.
public sympathy
Yeah.
as like an individual artist like Kendrick.
It's easier to hate a corporation
Way easier.
than it is to hate a person.
Way easier.
Right.
Right.
So he's kind of hitting two birds with one stone.
Two birds, one stone.
By suing UMG,
That's it.
maybe getting a big payout,
Oh yeah.
but also
Reshaping the game.
trying to reshape how these situations are handled.
That's the thing in the future.
That's exactly right.
And this brings us to another point.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what if Kendrick performed Not Like Us at the Super Bowl?
Oh, man.
Which is like the biggest stage
His biggest stage.
in the world with
Yeah.
this lawsuit hanging over his head.
Can you imagine
Oh man.
the tension?
The tension would be crazy.
It would be
I can't
insane.
even imagine.
From a legal perspective,
Yeah.
I would be advising against it.
You would.
Oh,
Yeah.
why? I mean, the legal risks, astronomical.
Okay.
You're talking about
Yeah.
hundreds of millions of people
Yeah.
worldwide
It's world
watching,
Yeah.
potentially hearing these accusations.
On live TV.
Live TV.
Yeah.
And if Drake wins this case,
Yeah.
that Super Bowl performance, evidence of further harm,
Oh wow.
leading to bigger damages.
Okay, so
From a legal perspective,
that's a hard no
that's a hard no.
from you.
Big hard no.
Yeah.
Big hard no.
So this whole situation has really thrown a spotlight on the use of rap lyrics as evidence in court.
Big time.
And this is a debate that's been raging for years. Critics are saying that using these lyrics against artists is inherently biased.
It is.
Because you're ignoring the artistic context.
You are.
You know, rap...
It's art.
It's not a deposition.
No.
It's art.
It's not a confession.
Right.
It's expression.
And you often misinterpret
all the time
metaphors and storytelling devices. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And they're pointing out that other genres...
Oh, of course.
Like, okay, country music, heartbreak, drinking...
Violence.
They rarely face the same scrutiny.
Never. Nope.
Like, why is rap being singled out?
That's a good question.
But there has been a shift, right?
There has been.
Like, in how the courts
are handling this.
A little bit. Because I remember the Young Thug trial.
Yeah.
Prosecutors tried to use his lyrics against him.
They did.
So what's going on there?
I mean, the Young Thug case is a prime example of how this debate's playing out.
Okay.
It's a controversial tactic.
Yeah.
Raises serious questions.
Yeah.
About artistic freedom. Especially
in rap?
In a genre that's historically been targeted.
Yeah.
Marginalized.
Totally.
You know?
So is it fair?
That's the question.
To hold artists accountable for words they create as part of their art.
As part of their art.
Especially when those words are supposed to be provocative for the story.
That's the whole point.
You know?
It's art.
What do you think?
I mean, that's precisely the question courts are grappling with right now.
They are.
Where do we draw the line?
Yeah.
Between creative expression and potentially harmful speech.
Right, and it's
a tough one.
This is the $1 million question again.
A $1 million question for sure.
Let's go back to Drake for a second.
Okay.
What do you think his motives are here?
What's he doing?
Yeah, is this just about the accusations?
In the song?
In Not Like Us, or is there something else going on?
Well, we can't know for sure.
Right.
But, I mean, there are a few possibilities.
Okay.
It could be tied to contract negotiations.
Okay.
With UMG.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Okay.
Like a strategic play for leverage.
Ooh.
And future dealings.
Okay.
It could be about reputation management.
Okay.
A way to publicly fight back against these accusations.
Yeah.
Protect his brand.
Right.
Or it could be a genuine desire for financial compensation.
Okay.
For the harm he believes he suffered.
So it's almost like we're watching a legal chess game.
It is
right now.
Chess game, yeah.
We're all trying to figure out what his end game is.
What's the end game?
And what this could mean for the future.
Totally.
That's all the other.
I mean, here's another possible outcome.
Okay.
UMG might try to settle this quietly.
Oh, that makes sense.
They could issue a statement, you know, upholding artistic expression.
Right.
And try to avoid a messy public trial.
Yeah.
That could draw more attention to this whole controversy.
Totally.
Right.
That's the PR move.
That's the PR move.
Right.
For sure.
But what if Drake wins this?
Okay.
Could that have a chilling effect?
Potential.
On diss tracks in the future?
Yeah, I mean, artists might become more cautious.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Hesitant to push boundaries. For fear of legal repercussions.
Right.
However, I'm not convinced the diss tracks are going away.
Why not?
I mean, they generate so much buzz. They drive streams.
Yeah.
Keep the artists in the headlines. You know, that's pure marketing gold.
It's true.
Even if some of it's negative.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
There's no such thing.
This
is a whole other layer.
We keep peeling back the layers.
And layers.
And finding more stuff.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And there's one more piece to this puzzle.
Okay, hit me.
The new president.
Oh, okay.
Has expressed interest in making it easier for people to sue for defamation.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so break that down.
So basically, it would be
easier to win these lawsuits.
Kurt.
Potentially, yeah.
Wow. And what does that mean?
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
The implications extend far beyond just music.
Oh,
journalists, critics.
Wow.
Everyday people.
Just saying stuff online.
Saying stuff online.
Yeah.
They could be targeted by lawsuits.
Wow.
Aimed at silencing them.
Okay, so it's not just celebrities anymore.
It's way bigger than that.
Wow. This is getting serious.
It's getting serious. It seems like this whole Drake thing.
Yeah.
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg, that's it.
It's like this one event
You know what?
represents so much more.
It reflects
Yeah.
much larger
Yeah.
societal tensions
Wow.
between free speech,
Yeah.
legal boundaries, the power dynamics
Yeah.
at play in the digital age.
This is already blowing my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And to think
Yeah.
we started with a celebrity feud.
That's how it starts.
What else is there?
So much more.
What else is there?
Let's go deeper.
Let's keep going.
You ready?
I'm ready.
So you want to explore the history of rap lyrics being used as evidence.
Yeah, I'm really curious about this because, rap is all about storytelling and pushing boundaries.
It is. It is.
And
it feels like,
You're hitting on a crucial point there.
yeah.
Using those lyrics in a courtroom
Yeah.
completely ignores the artistic context.
It's a different world.
Totally different world.
So how did this even start?
So in the early days,
Law enforcement, they saw rap as a threat,
yeah.
right?
Oh, interesting.
This voice of dissent
All right.
coming from marginalized communities.
Right.
So they started using lyrics
Oh, wow.
to build cases,
Okay.
targeting artists they perceived as dangerous.
Right. And so there's a lot of bias at play there.
Oh, tons.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's this perception
Yeah.
that rap lyrics are somehow more literal
It's so weird.
than other genres.
It makes no sense.
When it's, and it
Clearly storytelling and metaphor.
the rich history of storytelling and
Yeah.
character development.
Ridiculous.
So,
I mean, this ties into the whole conversation
it does.
of racial bias in the criminal justice system.
Absolutely.
This feels very interconnected.
It's all
To
connected.
really understand how deep this goes,
Yeah.
we need to look at some specific examples.
We need examples.
Give me some landmark cases that have shaped this debate.
One that stands out
Yeah.
is the trial of rapper Mac Dre. Mac Dre. Okay.
In the early 90s,
Okay.
prosecutors, they tried to use his lyrics to portray him as like the mastermind behind a bank robbery.
Really?
Even though there was no physical evidence linking him to the crime.
Wow. So they were just using his music
They were using his art.
to create a narrative that fit their agenda.
Exactly.
And this has happened over and over again.
Sadly, yes.
Give me another example.
Another case that sparked outrage.
Yeah.
The trial of Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Okay.
Mid-90s,
Right.
lyrics used against him in a murder trial,
Really?
even though he maintained his innocence.
Wow.
Argued that his words were part of a fictional persona.
It's kind of like,
I mean, it's disturbing
yeah, it's disturbing.
to think that someone's art,
So their art is being weaponized against them
exactly, being used to incriminate them.
when there's no other evidence.
Lack of evidence, yeah.
This is upsetting.
It is.
Okay, so advocates for artistic freedom are saying
Yeah.
that this is just,
They're saying it's prejudicial.
yeah.
Okay.
And it creates a narrative that's hard to overcome,
Really hard.
regardless of the facts.
Regardless.
And with social media.
Oh, social media
And the way artists use it now,
changes the game.
this is only going to get more complicated.
More and more complicated.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
what will you say online?
the lines are blurring
Yeah, the lines are blurring.
between art and real life.
Yeah.
What an artist posts online.
And it's art, but also
Even if it's meant to be playful,
it could be used against them.
it could be used against them
Yeah.
in a legal setting.
So this is a real minefield
It is a minefield.
that artists have to navigate.
Big time.
And so bring it back to Drake.
Okay.
How does this history
Yeah.
of using lyrics as evidence
Yeah.
inform the potential outcomes?
It just adds another layer of complexity to
Right.
this,
Yeah.
Drake's legal team.
Yeah.
They're going to have to carefully navigate this whole history, arguing that Kendrick's lyrics
Yeah.
are artistic expression, not statements of fact.
So they're going to be trying to get the court to see these lyrics through the lens of rap music.
See it through the lens of the art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And its traditions.
Right, and it's history.
Yeah.
The history.
Let's talk about these potential changes
Oh, yeah.
to defamation law.
The landscape could shift even further.
Yeah.
Something we all need to be paying attention to,
Okay. So how could these changes
because it could have a ripple effect
Yeah,
across
kind of
society.
impact everyday people?
Okay, imagine this.
Yeah.
You're scrolling through social media.
Okay, I'm with you.
Right.
Yeah. Huh?
You see a post from a local politician
Yeah.
that you disagree with.
Happens all the time.
You leave a comment
Uh-huh.
expressing your criticism,
Yeah.
maybe using some strong language.
I've been there.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
under current defamation law, it's unlikely that politician could successfully sue you.
Okay.
especially if your comment is based on your opinion
Right.
or verifiable facts.
Right.
But
Yeah.
with these proposed changes,
Things get dicey.
it gets trickier.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if that standard for proving defamation
Uh-huh.
becomes lower,
Okay.
that politician might have a much easier time
Oh, wow.
filing a lawsuit against you,
So I could get sued for leaving a comment.
even if your comment
Oh, wow.
was protected speech.
This is kind of terrifying.
It is a little bit scary,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. This would discourage people from speaking out.
Create a chilling effect,
Yeah.
lead to self-censorship,
Yeah.
people being afraid to express dissenting views.
Wow. Okay. This is serious.
It's serious stuff.
This is not just a hypothetical.
This is real.
This has real-world impact.
Real-world consequences.
And it goes beyond just comments.
It goes way beyond, yeah.
This impacts journalists, activists,
Everyday people
everyday people,
engaging in conversations.
just talking about important issues.
Important issues.
So it's like this Drake UMG case.
Yeah.
It's just one example
It's a window
of this larger issue.
into the larger
Yeah.
power dynamics at play.
That was very eye-opening.
Glad to hear it.
We've gone from a rap beef
I know, right?
to a conversation about free speech
The big stuff.
and how the law could change
How we could all change.
and how we communicate.
It's amazing how these seemingly isolated events
Yeah,
can connect to such profound societal issues.
they really can.
Right.
I'm sure there's even more to uncover.
Oh, there's always more.
What else you got?
Let's talk about the impact
Okay.
of this lawsuit on diss tracks.
Okay, this is interesting.
The future of diss tracks.
Yeah, because this could change the
It
game.
could change the game, yeah.
Yeah.
Artists might become more cautious,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
Less willing to push boundaries.
Yeah, because they're afraid of a lawsuit.
Fear of legal backlash.
Right.
But there's a counterpoint to consider.
Okay, what's that?
Diss tracks are incredibly effective marketing.
That's true.
Right.
They create so much buzz.
They create buzz, they drive streams,
It keeps people talking.
keep artists in the spotlight.
Yeah.
That kind of publicity is gold,
It's true, even if it's negative.
even if it's negative.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Exactly.
So what you're saying
Oh,
is
man.
the lure of attention and profit
The attention and the money.
outweigh the legal risks.
It might.
So diss tracks aren't going anywhere.
It might not be.
Okay.
The music industry is a business, after all.
It is, yeah.
Controversy often drives sales.
That's so true.
I wouldn't be surprised if diss tracks
Yeah.
continue to thrive,
Okay.
even in the face of potential lawsuits.
But what if
what-
Kendrick did perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl?
Oh, man.
What would happen?
What a scenario.
Like legally?
Legally, that's a nightmare. Performing that song
Yeah.
with this lawsuit going on,
Yeah.
incredibly risky.
Okay.
The sheer size of the Super Bowl audience,
It's massive.
it would magnify
Yeah.
any potential damages
Oh, wow.
if Drake wins his case.
That's scary.
Right.
This just shows the clash between
It does.
like creative expression
Yeah.
and
legal
boundaries.
boundary.
Yeah, because artists
Artists push the envelope.
they do.
They challenge norms,
Yeah.
provoke reactions.
Yeah.
But the legal system
Yeah.
tends to operate
It's a different way.
within more rigid framework.
Right, so it's this constant push and pull
Push and pull.
between art and the law.
Always.
Where do you draw the line?
That's the question.
That is the question.
It is.
And that's what makes this case so interesting,
It is fascinating.
because it really gets us to think about
It does.
these deeper questions
It makes you think.
about freedom of speech.
Yes.
You know, I mean,
This
where
is the line.
the line is,
Yeah.
it's so blurry.
It's so blurred.
And what are the consequences?
The consequences.
So what other insights do you have for us?
Let's circle back to Drake's motivations for a moment.
Yeah.
We talked about contract negotiations, reputation management,
Yeah,
financial compensation.
right.
But there's another angle to consider.
What's that?
Artistic integrity,
Oh, interesting.
you know?
Okay, how does that fit in here?
So some argue
Yeah.
that Drake might be using this lawsuit to send a message to the industry.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
To hold them accountable
Okay.
for promoting potentially harmful content.
So it's not just about him.
It's bigger than him.
It's about
He's using his platform.
using his platform
It's something bigger,
for a bigger issue.
you know?
Yeah, it's almost like a form of activism.
It's like he's drawing a line in the sand
Yeah.
and saying, hey, there are limits to what should be tolerated
Right.
in the name of entertainment or profit.
This is a powerful statement.
It's powerful stuff.
It really is.
It adds another layer of nuance to the situation.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the broader societal conversation
It does.
we're having, but the responsibility of artists,
Yeah.
media companies, platforms,
Yeah.
to consider the potential consequences of their creative output.
Wow, this is heavy.
Heavy stuff.
It's like this is forcing us to think
It is.
critically about the power of words
The power of words
and what it means.
and the ethical implications of artistic expression
Yeah.
in a rapidly changing world.
And with these potential defamation laws,
I know.
it's even more
The
complicated.
stakes are higher.
Yeah, because the outcome of this
It could have a huge impact
could impact so much more.
on the future of artistic freedom,
Wow.
not just in music,
Across the board.
across all forms
Yeah.
of creative expression.
This is crazy.
It's wild.
It's really bringing all these issues.
It's all connected.
It's a light.
It is.
What else can you tell us?
Let's dive into a
Okay.
specific aspect
Okay.
that might seem a little technical,
Okay.
but it's actually crucial to understanding the legal arguments,
Okay.
the concept of actual malice.
Actual malice. Okay, what's that?
So, to win a defamation case,
Yeah.
especially when it involves a public figure like Drake,
Yeah.
he has to prove that UMG published those damaging statements knowing they were false
Okay.
or with reckless disregard for the truth.
So it's not enough
Not enough.
to just show that they were untrue.
Not enough.
He has to show that
Intent.
that they knew or they didn't even bother to check.
Didn't bother to check.
Wow.
Right.
And that's what makes these cases so hard, right?
It's what makes it hard.
Because it's not just what was said.
It's the intent.
It's the intent.
It's the actions
That's
of the
okay.
publisher.
I can see why these cases drag on forever.
They do.
And are so nuanced.
It's all nuance.
Yeah.
Proving actual malice
Yeah.
is a high bar to clear
It is you.
Banshee's legal team.
Yeah.
They're going to argue
They're gonna say,
that they believed the statements in the song
yeah.
to be true, or at least they had no reason to doubt their veracity.
Right. So they're gonna say,
They did their due diligence.
we didn't act recklessly.
No recklessness.
We didn't know.
We didn't know.
Right.
Right.
Wow, this case is gonna hinge on some really
Nuance.
fine points of law.
It is.
I'm starting to feel like a legal expert myself.
How about that?
This is a lot.
It is a lot. But this is,
It's fascinating, though.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's important to have media literacy
Media literacy,
and critical thinking
critical thinking.
in the digital age.
It's more important than ever.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
Because information is everywhere.
Information overload.
You have to know how to, we need to be critical thinkers,
Yeah.
evaluating different sources, understanding perspectives,
Yeah.
thinking critically about the messages we're consuming.
And this is a perfect example
Case in point.
of why that's so important.
Right.
It's so easy to get caught up
Easy to get caught up.
in the hype,
Yeah.
but you have to
You got to dig deeper.
dig deeper, think for yourself,
Think for yourself.
evaluate the information.
Absolutely.
It's a lot.
It is.
So this whole Drake UMG case,
Yeah.
it's a good example
It's a great example
of how
so-
this one story
Yeah.
can lead to so many
It unravels
complex issues.
a complex web
Yeah.
of legal, social, and ethical questions.
This has been a great conversation.
Oh, thanks.
I feel like I'm looking at this in a whole new way.
Your perspective.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, this is really thought-provoking.
Anxious think.
So, what other perspectives can you offer us?
Let's shift our focus
Okay.
for a moment
Yeah.
to the role of the media
Oh, the media.
in all of this.
Yeah, they love a good celebrity feud.
Oh, they love it.
So how are they handling this one?
It's a mixed bag,
Okay.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Some outlets
Yeah.
more sensationalistic,
All right.
focusing on the drama and gossip.
Like Drake versus Kendrick, rap battle of the century.
Exactly. Right.
Right.
But other outlets
Yeah.
have taken a more nuanced approach.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
they're providing in-depth analysis
Right.
of the legal issues,
Okay.
the ethical implications,
Right.
the broader societal context.
That's a whole range.
It's a whole range
like coverage.
of coverage, from clickbait
clickbait to serious journalism.
to serious journalism.
And that's why it's so important to be a critical thinker.
That's the key.
Right. Evaluate different sources.
Different sources,
Get different perspectives.
different perspectives, so you
to form your own opinion.
form your own informed opinion.
Don't just take the headlines at face value.
Don't do it.
It's so easy to do that.
So easy.
You got to look deeper.
You gotta look deeper.
So this is another
It's a
example
perfect example.
of why media literacy is so important.
Oh yeah.
This case,
Yeah.
it's like one little story.
It shows you.
But it shows you
how important.
How much power the media has.
Media literacy.
And how it shapes our understanding.
They shape our understanding.
Of things.
Of the world.
So what else should we consider?
Well, one important thing is to look for potential biases.
Okay, what does that mean?
So like favoring one side over the other?
Okay.
Right, so like are they...
Media outlets can have different editorial leanings, political agendas, even financial incentives.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That can influence...
It all ties back to money.
Their coverage.
Okay, so we need to know...
So be aware...
that it's there.
Of the potential bias. How it might be.
Shaping the information.
Shaping what you're seeing.
Yeah. So it's almost like we have to be detectives.
You got to be a detective.
Now, you do.
Right.
We have to evaluate the sources.
Evaluate, think critically.
Cross-reference.
Cross-check information. With other reputable outlets. It's a lot of work.
It is.
But it's important work.
But it's the work.
It is.
We have to.
Especially now, as we navigate this ever-expanding landscape of online information.
Okay, so what else about the media?
Social media.
Social media.
That's a big one.
Huge.
You know, it's become a powerful force.
Oh, absolutely.
In shaping narratives. Amplifying controversies. Blurring the lines.
It's like everything is blurred.
Between news, opinion, and entertainment. You know.
Social media is a whole other beast.
It's a whole other beast.
Right, so how's it playing into this situation?
I don't know, tell me.
Well, for starters,
Yeah.
It's providing a platform.
It is.
For fans, critics, legal experts.
Right.
To weigh in on the case.
Of course.
With strong opinions.
Yeah.
And passionate arguments.
I've seen some heated debates on Twitter.
It gets heated.
About this.
Social media can fuel the fire.
It can,
you know?
It can really escalate things.
Accelerate the spread of information and misinformation.
And it creates this environment that's just...
that's more volatile.
Yeah, volatile.
For sure.
Okay, so it's a double-edged sword.
Double-edged sword.
Because it gives a platform to a lot of different people.
Diverse voices.
Yeah.
Perspectives.
But it can also, spread rumors and just...
Spread rumors.
Amplify all the negativity.
Amplify the negativity.
Yes, a lot.
So it's important to approach social media with a critical eye.
Okay.
Right. Be discerning about the information we consume.
Yeah.
And share.
Yeah.
And engage in respectful dialogue.
Right. Be respectful.
Even when we disagree.
Even when you disagree.
Yeah.
That's hard to do sometimes.
It's hard.
On the internet.
It is.
This is making me think about my own social media habits.
I think we all should.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Be more mindful.
Be mindful.
About what I'm engaging with.
About what you're seeing.
Wow. This is...
It's a lot.
This is a lot.
But, you know...
This is good.
It's good to think about.
It is. So this deep dive is reminding me...
That's a good reminder.
Of how important it is.
It is.
To think critically about everything you see online.
Everything you see online.
This is a good example.
This case is a prime example.
Of how...
Of how a simple story... about a celebrity feud can unravel
into this huge web,
into a complex web of legal, social, and ethical questions.
So it's important.
It is important
to recognize that,
to think about these things,
and not just get caught up in the drama.
Don't get caught up in the drama.
It's easy to do.
Easy to do.
But don't do it.
We got to think critically.
Think critically.
Okay, so this is...
It's a lot.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
But this deep dive has been so helpful.
I'm glad to hear that.
In helping me understand
complex.
How complex this
is. It is.
And to not just look at the surface.
Look beyond the surface.
Of what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So what else? You ready for more?
What else can you tell us?
Let's explore a different angle.
Okay.
We've been focusing on the legal
Yeah.
and ethical implications
Yeah.
of this situation.
Right.
But there's another important aspect to consider.
Okay, what's that?
The emotional toll.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay, you're talking about Drake and Kendrick. It's easy to get caught up in the legal back and forth.
Right, of course.
And the broader societal implications.
Right.
But
at the end of the day,
at the core,
as a people,
this is about two people.
Yeah, yeah.
Who have been deeply affected.
Yeah, it's real life.
By this situation.
It's easy to forget that.
Easy to forget.
When we're talking about
that these are real people.
Lawsuits and legal stuff.
With real feelings.
So we need to acknowledge that.
Acknowledge the human element.
Yeah, for Drake.
For Drake.
This could be about This could be about seeking vindication.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Reclaiming his narrative.
Right.
Addressing the emotional harm caused by those accusations.
Okay, and for Kendrick?
For Kendrick, it's delicate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah?
He might feel caught in the crossfire.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Of course.
Facing criticism. Scrutiny.
Of course.
For his creative choices. And this is a lot of pressure.
I can only imagine
Yeah.
the pressure and stress
Yeah, totally.
that comes with being at the center of a
Yeah.
legal battle like this.
And it's not just legal, right? Expert.
And beyond the legal stuff.
Yeah.
You know, there's potential damage to their reputations,
Of course.
their careers,
Yeah.
their personal relationships.
Right.
It's wild.
This reminds us that words have power,
They do.
you know?
Big time.
And that power,
Yeah.
it can have lasting consequences.
Absolute.
Positive and negative.
Positive and negative.
And in the digital age,
Oh, man.
where everything spreads so fast,
It's like wildfire.
it's amplified.
Yeah.
The emotional toll of being attacked online
Huge.
and the public scrutiny.
It's a lot.
It's intense.
Especially for these guys, you know?
Yeah, and this is making me think about
Yeah.
the whole culture of online shaming
Oh,
and how people use social media
it's a weapon.
to attack and vilify others.
They do.
It's a disturbing trend.
It's really disturbing.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And this is something we need to address as a society,
We do.
I think.
We need to talk about it.
So this deep dive,
Yeah.
it's really making me think about
Makes you think.
the ethical responsibility.
Absolutely.
I'm alive.
Responsibilities, like how we
It's
communicate.
a different world now.
Yeah, and the need for
Empathy.
an understanding
Empathy.
in the digital space.
So important.
This is a great reminder
It is a reminder.
that behind every headline
Yeah.
and every legal battle,
Every lawsuit,
every song,
behind it all,
there are human stories.
there are people.
Yeah, there are real people.
Real stories.
And we need to acknowledge that.
We need to remember that.
Yeah, and those
We
stories.
often offer
Yeah.
more profound insights
Yeah.
than any
Then
any legal argument.
legal argument or societal debate.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to forget.
We forget that those stories are there.
Yeah, and so this conversation
It's been great.
has been so helpful
Glad you think so.
in reminding me of that.
Yeah, you got to remember,
Yeah, that there's more to it
there's more to the story.
than just the headlines.
Always more.
So I'm really starting to appreciate
I'm glad to hear it.
the depth and complexity of this case.
It is.
It's so much more
So much more.
than just a celebrity feud.
It's a microcosm
Yeah.
of so many of the
It's a challenges.
challenges and opportunities we're facing
Yeah, of the digital age.
in the digital age.
This deep dive has been
We've covered a lot.
incredibly thought-provoking.
Good, I like that.
Yeah. What other perspectives can you offer?
Let's shift gears a little bit. Talk
Yeah.
about the role of the media
Okay, yeah.
in all of this.
The media.
The
Yeah.
media loves a good story.
They do, yeah.
They play a crucial role in shaping public perception,
Yeah, for sure.
amplifying these controversies.
They love to make things bigger.
Oh, yeah.
So, how are they handling this case specifically?
It's a mixed bag.
Okay.
Some outlets,
Yeah.
they've taken a more sensationalistic approach.
I've seen those headlines.
You see the clickbait.
Yeah, Drake versus Kendrick,
Yeah,
battle of the century.
exactly.
Right.
But other outlets
Yeah.
have taken a more nuanced approach.
Okay, that's good.
You know,
Yeah.
they're providing
And
in-depth analysis
okay.
of the legal issues,
Yeah.
ethical implications,
Right.
the broader societal context.
Yeah, so it's a whole spectrum
It's a spectrum
of coverage.
of coverage.
And that's why it's so important
That's why
to be a critical thinker.
media literacy
Yeah.
is so important.
And it's harder than ever, I think,
It's hard.
because there's so much information out there.
Information overload.
So what you're saying is
Yeah.
we have to evaluate
Evaluate
different sources,
different sources,
get different perspectives,
different perspectives,
and make up our own mind.
form your own
Big
informed opinion.
We can't just go with
We can't just
the first thing we see.
take the headlines at face value.
Right, and it's so easy to do that
It's so easy,
because it's everywhere.
but you got to dig deeper.
Yeah, you have to.
You got to think for yourself.
This case is a perfect example of
It shows you
why that's so important.
how important media literacy is.
It shows how much power
The media has power.
the media
For
has
sure.
to shape our understanding of things.
They shape our understanding of the world.
Okay, so what else should we be thinking about?
Well, one important thing
Yeah.
to consider is potential biases.
Okay, biases in the media.
In the media, yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So, like, favoring one side over the other.
Okay, so like they're pushing an agenda.
They might be.
Okay.
Media outlets can have different editorial leanings.
That makes sense.
Different political agendas.
Right.
Even financial incentives.
Oh, yeah, because it's all about money.
That can influence their coverage.
Wow, okay, so
we have to be aware.
Be aware that that's of the potential for bias.
Yeah.
And how it might be shaping
the information.
Shaping what you're seeing.
Yeah, we have to be media detectives.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. Like, yeah. We have to look at everything.
Evaluate critically.
Cross-reference, look at different sources.
Cross-check information.
That's a lot of work.
It is work.
But it's the work that we have to do.
It's the work we have to do.
Especially now.
Especially now.
In this crazy digital world.
With so much information.
Yeah.
Right.
So what else about the media?
Well, social media.
Social media.
It's a big one.
It's huge.
You know, it's become this powerful force.
It really has.
Shaping narratives.
Yeah.
Amplifying these controversies. It makes everything a bigger deal.
It does.
And it blurs the lines between...
It blurs all the lines.
Like, what's news? What's opinion? What's entertainment?
Opinion.
It's all mixed together.
Entertainment.
Yeah, social media's wild.
Wild, wild west.
So how's it affecting this Drake UMG situation?
Well, for starters,
yeah,
it's giving a platform.
Yeah, to everyone.
To fans, critics, legal experts.
Right.
To weigh in on the case.
Everyone's got an opinion.
Everybody's got something to say.
And social media lets them share it.
They share it with the world.
Yeah, and some people have really strong opinions.
Really strong opinions.
Yeah, and they're not afraid to share them.
No, they're not.
I've seen some pretty heated exchanges.
Oh, yeah.
On social media.
It gets heated.
Yeah.
It's really heated.
And I think social media fuels that.
Fuels the fire.
Right.
Accelerates the spread of information.
It does. It makes everything...
Misinformation, too.
Yeah, misinformation, too.
Right.
It makes everything spread so much faster.
It's like wildfire.
So, is social media good or bad in this situation? I mean, it's a tough question.
It's both, you know?
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword.
Because it gives people a platform.
It gives people a voice.
But it also can be used.
But it can also be used...
For bad stuff.
To spread negativity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and rumors and just...
Rumors, misinformation.
Misinformation.
It's a lot.
So I guess what you're saying is...
Yeah.
Be careful what you see on social media.
Be careful.
And think critically.
Think critically.
Right.
Yeah.
Because not everything is true.
Not everything you see is true.
You gotta form your own opinion.
Form your own informed opinion.
This is good advice.
It's important stuff.
It is. So this deep dive is making me think about my own social media habits.
I think we all should.
Yeah, like how I'm using it.
Yeah, how are you using it?
And what I'm seeing.
What are you seeing?
Yeah. And how I'm engaging.
What are you engaging with?
Yeah, it's really making me think about...
It's a lot.
All of that.
It is.
And I think this is a good reminder for everyone listening.
Absolutely.
That it's so important.
It's so important.
To be mindful.
Be mindful.
About what you're seeing online.
What you're engaging with.
And what you're sharing.
What you're putting out there.
Right, because you never know.
You never know.
How that could be interpreted.
Or the consequences.
Or the consequences.
Right.
This has been a great deep dive.
Oh, I'm glad you think so.
I feel like we've learned so much.
It's complex.
About this case.
It is.
And about these larger issues.
Big stuff.
Of our time.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
For joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
For this deep dive.
I'm glad we could do this.
I'm glad we could do this too.
Yeah.
And for everyone listening.
Keep thinking.
Thanks for joining us.
Keep exploring.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.